Hello and welcome to News Central Now. I am Adebola Adedugba. The top stories are this hour. Transmission Company of Nigeria blames Jebba transformer explosion for third national grid collapse in 1 week. Again, Senator Kalu proposes 6-year single term for president and governors. Mozambique leading opposition candidate's lawyer gunned down. And details shortly. Let's begin with updates on the national grid collapse, where the Transmission Company of Nigeria has responded to reports on the national grid's breakdown on Saturday, describing it as temporary grid disturbance. The grid collapsed for the third time this week, early on Saturday morning, leaving many states in total blackouts. This marks the 8th grid disturbance in 2024. TNC's General Manager of Public Affairs, Ndidimba, explained that although the bus section of a current transformer exploded at 330 kV Jebba transmission stop station, power has now been restored. The End Bad Governance Movement, a coalition of civil society groups and activists, have declared Sunday, 20th October 2024, as a day off to honor the martyr of the collective struggle for liberty in Nigeria. The Lagos chapter of the group announced that activities marking the day will include a memorial procession, speeches, prayers, and laying of wreaths at Lekki Toll Gate. The group statement, jointly signed by Hassan Taiwo Soweto, Osugba Blessing, and Oloyi Adegboyega Adeniji, noted that the date marks 4 years since scores of protesters were allegedly massacred at the Lekki Toll Gate during the End SARS protests, which erupted across the nation in October 2020. The group recalled that the End SARS protests 4 years ago occurred against the backdrop of decades of widespread police brutality in Nigeria, particularly by the Special Anti-Robbery Squad and other police formations, with young people being the primary victims. And now to politics, where the Abia North Senator Orji Uzo Kalu has reiterated his support for a single 6-year term for president and state governors, saying such an arrangement would reduce the costs of governance and foster rapid development. Kalu noted that the current system of 2 terms of 4 years each is expensive and often distracts elected officials from focusing on governance. The former governor of Abia State also commented on the emoluments of senators, which he said were insufficient to fund their activities. He also advised the government to scale down unnecessary expenditures, including aid provided to other countries and regional institutions, noting that the current allocation of 14 million naira monthly is excessive. And to talk about this, we're joined by Executive Director, Not Too Young to Lead Initiative, Elvis Akpobi. Good evening. Let me kick off by asking what your thought is on the 6-year single-term proposal for president as well as governors by Senator Orji Kalu.
Okay, coming from someone who has served 4 years each as a governor, and it did not reflect, there was no reflection of good governance during his term. I stand to be corrected. He shouldn't propose that. For me, that is not a national interest. It's his personal interest, and it's not about the number of terms you stay. It's a number. It has to do with leaders who contract governance through with our votes, who knows that the primary duty of being a governor or being a president is to protect lives and properties, make life better for those whose tax and their votes kept them where they are. So for me, it's not about the number of them. I will not mention a particular country. I know I've been a privileged election observer in a particular country in West Africa where a supposed refined young aspirant who was he was into the sports sector. People saw him as a hope bearer in that particular country. He did 6 years. Though it was meant to be a double term, but 6 years, within 6 years, he couldn't do anything. So for me, it's not the number of years or single term. It has to do with people, electing people who are passionate about restructuring, who are passionate about offering solutions to the challenges we face as a country and not making excuses from what the previous administration did. If you agree with me right now, the set of persons were elected at the center today. It's been, let's give us time, we'll make Nigeria better. And things keep getting worse daily as day goes by. It's a very difficult time to be habited in Nigeria, mostly because most of the policies we're faced with today, being made today, seem as if those who are even making the policies are confused. They don't know what to do, so they keep giving the excuse of give us a little time. But these were the same persons who came out to the streets to protest against fuel hike and all that years back. But today they keep proposing for more time to make our country better. Like I said, and I'll keep saying, that's going to do with the number of years you stay in office. Yeah, Adua, the late Adua didn't even stay long, but today he wrote his name in the annals of history in our country. So it's not about the year term; it's about electing people who knows that their primary aim is to put an enabling environment where people can live their dream, where young people didn't need to jackpot to get better life, where young people you don't need to have the right surname to get a good job, you don't need to live in an eyebrow area to get to live your life. You don't need to know somebody, just be qualified and you get it right.
Okay, when you say it's not about the number of terms, but then the quality of leader, how then can we ensure the right people are in position of office?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's not possible. It's possible, but Nigeria, you agree with me, is playing a money-back politics where you need to, play with money to get the conscience and mind of electorate, mostly because the large mass of electorate are vulnerable due to poverty, lack, and all that. So when some money is being spread around, you see them becoming gullible. But I believe that we don't have, for me, I don't have any other passport. I have the green passport. I'm proud to be in Nigeria. I don't have any other country but Nigeria. So each and every, the onus is now on my generation to know that incompetence dressed up as strategy is still incompetent and still totally unacceptable. We need to, re-galvanize, re-strategize to get the right leaders on board.
Well, looking at it from the point of view of mathematics, some people would say, when you compare 8-year term, that's 4 term, making 8 years, as against a 6-year term, that will sort of reduce the cost of governance, looking at all the expenditure and also finances used to run office. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I can still subscribe to that line, but I'll still stand on my ground when my thought process when I say that it has nothing to do with the number of years. It has a lot to do with the mindset of those elected to lead us and to make policies for us. I give you an example. The late President Adebola did not stay in office for long, but his name is still on our lips positively for the policies he bettered during his short stay in office. So it's not about the number of years. It's about the mindset and the urge to make Nigeria better.
Now, beyond those in office, now you've said it's not about the number of term, but about the mindset of those in office. How about the electorate themselves? What role would you say they have to play in terms of getting the right people in the right position of governance?
Mostly because it seems as if we need to re-strategize on how the the chairman of our electoral umpire is being appointed, has been selected, because those who pay the piper, they take the stone. So when you get someone on board as the INEC chairman, it takes the grace of God. It takes someone who's passionate about a particular country, so don't want to subscribe to bias. I'll give you an example. I was a privileged electoral observer for the just concluded election in Liberia, and I saw citizens. I engaged some of the citizens while I was in Liberia, and I saw citizens who had trust in their electoral umpire. Let's not forget to make progress. We need to build trust among ourselves. You ask yourself today: does the average Nigerian citizen trust the INEC, which is our electoral umpire today? I can categorically tell you no, because their body language and actions and inactions have shown that things that on the ballot polling unit does not reflect reality. And it seems as if people have given up. There are some people you engage today, they'll tell you our votes don't count, but I still believe our vote counts. I've always amplified that we can't get the Nigeria we want immediately, but we can bend the slice of it. And it will require citizens who know that they need to come together and play a role in the future they want for their country.
Well, in closing, let me follow up on your line of thoughts, talking about the people of Nigeria, the citizens now losing trust in the electoral umpire. How would you suggest we can begin to rebuild trust, have that trust between Nigerians as well as those in office or even those conducting elections, like you rightly mentioned, the electoral umpires?
Until they build confidence, until elections are no longer, until the judiciary process does not stop, giving verdicts that you hear cases where people tell you go to court because they feel they don't, the judiciary process can take them anywhere. I don't know how they get those judgments. Allegedly, it's not as if a judiciary process they will not also build trust with the citizens. But the thing is, these off-cycle elections, very soon we'll be having another election, I think one of these Southwestern states. Those are opportunities for the electoral umpire to prove to Nigerians that they are credible, they can be trusted, and they are transparent.
All right, thank you so much for your submissions on the news. Elvis Akpobi, Executive Director, Not Too Young to Lead Initiative. Many thanks indeed.
Thanks for having me.
Away from that, the African Development Bank will establish the Youth Entrepreneurship Investment Bank for Nigeria as part of its commitment to supporting young people. AFDB President Akinwumi Adesina announced this in Abuja while delivering a keynote address at the 90th birthday lecture of former head of state Yakubu Gowon. Adesina stated that the initiative underscores AFDB's determination to support youths whom he considers crucial to the country's development. He added that the bank will provide both technical and other forms of support to young entrepreneurs, describing the initiative as a new day for Nigeria. Adesina also cautioned against the rising trend of migration, locally referred to as Japa.
I know many people may think that getting Nigerians out of here, I'm not against immigration. Don't get me wrong. But I don't believe that the future of Nigerians' youth or that of Africa's youth lies in Europe, America, China, or anywhere else. It lies in a Nigeria growing very well with equitable growth and Africa doing the same, able to create quality jobs for its own young people. And there is no doubt in my mind that we can do that. A global Nigeria will turn Japa, we are living, into Japada, we are back. To get there, I have some good news. I'm delighted to announce here today that just 3 days ago, the African Development Bank's Board of Directors approved $100 million for the establishment of the Youth Entrepreneurship Investment Bank for Nigeria. This new bank will support the businesses of the youth in Nigeria using technical assistance, business incubation, and invest equity, quasi-equity, and debt in these businesses, as well as deploy guarantee instruments to de-risk the lending to all this by all financial institutions in Nigeria. It will be a new day and a new dawn for Nigeria, and I want to congratulate the President and the team.
After the break, residents accuse FCT authorities of corruption in allocation of land. We have details shortly. Thank you for staying tuned. Some residents of Nigeria's federal capital, Abuja, have raised allegations of corruption and mismanagement in the allocation and administration of land within the Abuja Geographic Information Systems. The group, also known as Concerned FCT Resident, have called on the National Assembly and other relevant authorities to investigate reported cases of land racketeering and corruption in the management and administration of FCT lands.
many properties in Rivers State under the watch of Nelson Wike that was revoked, which are Muslim-owned in Rivers State, was not reinstated back to those Muslims. Or 65% of the total land that were revoked in the FCT for not building were owned by Muslims and were owned by Northerners. And we know so many applications have been written to the FCT ministers, so many phone calls have been made for him to reinstate back those lands to those people. And up till now, the issue have not been made public. Wike should come out and tell Nigerians, was there any public hearing on the issue of lands that were revoked by Nelson Wike and the application made in front of him in his office to reinstate back those lands or put those lands for a public purchase? No.
In the meantime, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has called on investors to invest in Abuja, saying the federal capital presents a conducive environment for businesses to thrive. And this was during the recently concluded Abuja Investment Summit, which showcased the potentials of the federal capital in the B2W investors. Our correspondent, Amadine Uyi, has details.
Abuja is Nigeria's political and administrative capital. While housing the seat of government, Abuja has been a convergence point for several cultures, the nation's diplomatic seat, and recently, an investment haven for investors.
Abuja is not just the political capital of Nigeria, it's a place of opportunities waiting to be harnessed. Our unique position, strategic location, and growing population create a fertile ground for investment across various sectors.
In a bid to ensure Abuja fulfills its key potentials for citizens and residents alike, the Abuja Investment Company has held the first Abuja Investment Summit to harness the potentials of the federal capital.
Abuja Business and Investment Summit is designed to showcase to our stakeholders and potential investors in Nigeria and worldwide the investment opportunities that are bound in the FCT. It's equally a platform to initiate collaborations to enhance economic growth, cultural exchange, and sustainable development.
This summit is aimed at promoting investment opportunities in FCT, as well as creating a platform for networking among investors from within Nigeria and beyond.
The theme that have been chosen, optimizing market investment through partnership, involves leveraging the strength, resources, and capability of different stakeholders.
The Abuja Investment Summit will be pioneering a new approach to it, where you bring in the investors and the businesses. I am hopeful that this will be, a summit where deals will be closed.
While the minister assured of the FCT administration's commitment to delivering key infrastructures to support businesses, others called for collaboration and partnerships by investors.
We recognize that infrastructure is the backbone of any successful investment. That's why we have prioritized the development of roads, transportation networks, and utilities to ensure seamless connectivity within the territory.
It is important to identify strategic partners that will bring complementary strengths, such as expertise, market access, technology, and capital.
I'd like to remind participants about the power of building strong partnerships for the achievement of a win-win situation in our business endeavors. Together, we can optimize our investments and drive the impactful change that our organization and country needs for economic prosperity.
The summit hopes to attract investments into Abuja, making it an investment haven. In Abuja for News Central, I am Amadine Uyi.
The Borno State government has announced the commencement of the fourth phase of its teacher training program aimed at revitalizing education in rural areas affected by insurgency. Governor Babagana Zulum represented by the Commissioner of Education, Lawan Wakilbe, presented a check of over 297 million naira to fund the training of 1,181 teachers from 15 local government education authorities for a program holding in Bama. Our correspondent, Umaru Kirawa, completes the report.
This marks the fourth phase of the Borno State government's teacher training initiative following a competency test in 2021. The initiative is part of the state's broader strategy to address the shortage of teachers, a challenge caused by years of insurgency.
You are going to receive 90,000 naira from the state government, 13,000 monthly, plus the 50,000, making it 140,000. Furthermore, the government has paid for your tuition. Your stay here would be free. The government has paid for your manuals and handouts. Everything will be given to you free. What do we expect from you? Dedication, attendance, and then enhanced knowledge for greater productivity.
I am impressed by the way the Honorable Commissioner, Engineer Lawan Wakilbe, was handling the program and the entire education system in the Borno State. More so ever, recently, the executive governor was honored the friendly governor of education by the NUT National.
As teachers, you must stand to your text. You must go to class, teach as teacher, because teaching is one of the noble professions we have.
The investment aims to improve teaching quality and support the state's post-insurgency recovery efforts, ensuring that children have access to quality education.
We reiterate our willingness to play a role that are expected of us as traditional leaders, such as mobilizing the community to ensure their children embrace education and supporting all government policies and programs.
The era of not coming to work as at when due, the era of absenteeism is no longer acceptable by the Borno State government.
To the best of my knowledge and knowledge of many, this massive intervention, initiatives, and reforms in our educational system was never witnessed in the state before and this support to all policy reforms of this administration.
Sustaining the retraining of teachers, particularly in essential teaching techniques, is key to improving teaching and learning outcomes for sustainable growth. In Bama for News Central, Umaru Kirawa.
As Nigerians struggle with the current economic situation, a significant empowerment initiative has benefited over 1,200 selected women traders in Delta State, providing substantial grants to boost their businesses and mitigate economic hardship. Our correspondent, Austin Azu, tells us more.
In Asaba, the state capital, more than 2,000 APC women traders from Delta State's 25 AGAs gathered here for the maiden edition of this Women's Summit, empowered to serve, focused on enhancing women's involvement in politics.
This Women's Empowerment Summit officially opened in the name of God the Father, in the name of God the Son, in the name of God the Holy Spirit. As we are empowered today, let us work together. Let us work together in cooperation. Let us encourage one another, support each other, and celebrate our diversity.
One after the other, these women received financial grants intended to cushion economic challenges affecting their businesses and families, courtesy of Stella Akotete, Executive Director of Business Development at Nexim. The APC National Women Leader urged women to leverage their strength, voices and talents to drive national development.
Encourage you that do not give up on empowering each other. Do not give up on empowering that woman. Do not give up on empowering that girl child. Because what? They are the future of tomorrow.
Quotite acknowledged the crucial role women played in the party's success during the last election, which yielded 2 senators, House of Representative members, and 7 House of Assembly members in the state, and subsequently called for party cohesion in anticipation of the 2027 general elections.
We decided to have this event to help women in various categories with grants for their businesses, with skill equipment for their businesses, and to ensure that we have women who will go back to their communities to encourage human capacity development within the community and externally. This summit is timely because since after the elections in Delta, we've actually now had an opportunity to gather ourselves as the ruling progressive party in Nigeria in Delta.
Beneficiaries who expressed gratitude disclosed their plans.
I want to use it to increase my fishery farming.
I'm going to use it to empower the women in my community as a midwifery. I will put it in my store that those that will come, I can be able to take care of them properly.
It's my advice to every woman in politics. Endurance matters a lot, and hardworking. It is your work that will announce you.
The panel of experts thoroughly examined the advantages women acquired through active involvement in politics. In Asaba for News Central, I'm Austin Azu.
Coming up, Mozambique opposition lawyer gunned down. We have details shortly. Join us again. Thank you for staying with us. The news continues in Southern Africa, where the lawyer for Mozambique's leading opposition candidate, Venancio Mondlane, who ran for president in October 9 election, was gunned down in Maputo on Saturday. The lawyer, Alvino Diaz, was killed with another candidate, Paulo Guambe, from the Podemos party, backing Mondlane. 2 gunmen shot up their car while it was immobile on the road in the center of the capital, witnesses said. Podemos head Albino Fakilha confirmed the killings, while the National Lawyers Association expressed deep shock at Diaz's death. A civil society organization, observer group rather, Mas Integridad, called the poignant murder an act of intimidation undermining democracy. Police said investigation had been started but did not immediately confirm the identities of the 2 slain men. The Nigerian doctors in South Africa have embarked on a remarkable initiative that highlights the power of collaboration and compassion in the healthcare and address healthcare gaps through a community medical outreach program. This unprecedented partnership aims to provide essential healthcare services to underserved communities in South Africa. By pooling their expertise, Nigerian and South African healthcare professionals are working together to treat various medical conditions, distribute medications, and promote overall health awareness.
We came up with this initiative to come every year to give free medical services to our nationals so that people can have access, even if it's once in a year, to doctors who are properly trained, who are working in South Africa, who understand the terrain, who understand the disease, that is more prevalent in South Africa, to attend to them and ensure that their illnesses are properly diagnosed, give them the required medical treatment, and refer them appropriately where there is a need for that. So it's a yearly event, and this year we decided to do it around October in commemoration of our independence, which is 1st of October.
In Central Africa, the government of Gabon has announced that a referendum on the new constitution will be held on 16th November. The new constitution is intended to transition the country to a civilian regime following the military coup that ended the 55-year rule of former President Ali Bongo Ondimba's family. The proposed constitution includes several key changes, such as abolition of the post of Prime Minister and introduction of a 7-year presidential term, which can be renewed once. The Council of Ministers has expressed satisfaction with the completion of the proposed new constitution, and the next step will be the organization of a constitutional referendum.
Le Conseil des ministres a exprimé sa satisfaction concernant l'aboutissement du projet de nouvelle constitution. Cette étape décisive a permis au gouvernement de la transition, au CTRI et au Parlement de la transition d'examiner de manière approfondie les amendements proposés par les parlementaires de la transition réunis en constituante. Après le succès du dialogue national inclusif, la prochaine étape décisive du processus de transition sera l'organisation du référendum constitutionnel. Le premier projet de décret définit les modalités des bulletins de vote à utiliser, précisant que 2 bulletins imprimés sur papier blanc seront mis à la disposition des électeurs, l'un portant la mention « oui » et l'autre « non ». Le second décret convoque le collège électoral pour ce référendum. Ainsi, le collège électoral est convoqué de ce fait le 16 novembre.
The Economic Community of Central African States, ECAS, is holding a summit in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea. Gabon's transitional president, Brice Nguema, is attending for the first time since Gabon rejoined the group in March 2024. ECAS has suspended Gabon following a coup in 2023 that ousted President Ali Bongo. The summit presents an opportunity for Gabon to reconnect with neighboring countries and address regional issues. President Nguema's attendance is seen as a positive sign for Gabon's future role in the region. Still ahead, Palestinians vow to keep fighting after Hamas leaders' killing. We have details shortly. Join us again.
The message is very clear that the killing of the Palestinian leaders does not stop the Palestinian struggle for freedom. And Sinwar in his death has exposed Israel completely, exposed their lies about him, exposed their lies about the attacks on Gaza. And the Palestinian struggle will continue.
الاحتلال لم يبقي في غزة شجرا ولا حجرا ولا بشرا. آخر مجزرة ارتكبها كان قتل القائد الفلسطيني يحيى السنوار. بنقول للاحتلال انه مشكلته مش مع شخص ولا مع حزب، هذا مشكلته مع شعب يريد الحرية. لا اليوم ولا بكره الاحتلال بيقدر ينهي قضيتنا وشعبنا. الحل هو انهاء الاحتلال وان يعود الحق لاصحابه.
احنا كثير زعلانين وكثير حزينين وكثير مقهورين انه يعني واحد بطل مثل هذا ونفتخر فيه كمان انه يعني يستشهد بسرعة. بس أنا ما بدي أقول أكثر من هيك، ولكن إنه استشهاده كان فخر إله وفخر إلنا، وبيعطي يعني شعور بإنه شعب أو حركة بيستشهد أمينها العام، فهي ستنتصر بإذن الله.
Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative, Mustafa Barghouti, says killing Palestinian leader does not stop the Palestinian struggle for freedom. Barghouti made the statement during demonstration in Ramallah in support of Gaza, condemning the killing of Hamas chief Yahya Sinwar by Israel. Hamas ally Hezbollah has vowed to intensify attacks on Israel weeks into an all-out war that erupted on September 23rd, launching on Saturday rocket barrages at Israel's north, where rescuers said one man was killed by shrapnel. The latest attacks comes as Hamas, Hezbollah, and allied Iran-backed groups in the region have vowed to keep fighting after Israeli troops killed the Palestinian movement's leader, Yahya Sinwar, in Gaza more than a year into the war triggered by Hamas's October 7, 2023 attack.
The message is very clear that the killing of the Palestinian leaders does not stop the Palestinian struggle for freedom. And Sinwar in his death has exposed Israel completely, exposed their lies about him, exposed their lies about the attacks on Gaza. And the Palestinian struggle will continue.
الاحتلال لم يبقي في غزة شجرا ولا حجرا ولا بشرا. آخر مجزرة ارتكبها كان قتل القائد الفلسطيني يحيى السنوار. بنقول للاحتلال إنه مشكلته مش مع شخص ولا مع حزب، هذا مشكلته مع شعب يريد الحرية. لا اليوم ولا بكرة الاحتلال بيقدر ينهي قضيتنا وشعبنا. الحل هو إنهاء الاحتلال وأن يعود الحق لأصحابه.
احنا كتير زعلانين وكتير حزينين وكتير مقهورين انه يعني واحد بطل مثل هذا ونفتخر فيه كمان انه يعني يستشهد بسرعة. بس أنا ما بدي أقول أكثر من هيك، ولكن إنه استشهاده كان فخر إله وفخر إلنا، وبيعطي يعني شعور بإنه شعب أو حركة بيستشهد أمينها العام، فهي ستنتصر بإذن الله.
In business, stock market investing can be intimidating, particularly for novice, but with the correct information, it can be a very effective strategy to increase your wealth. Every beginner investor has to learn certain fundamentals such as how shares are bought and sold, how dividends are paid, and how to monitor the performance of your portfolio. Nasir Agbalaya, business editor, compiled this report for newbies on how to start.
Investing in stock market can be a rewarding venture, but for beginners, understanding the basics is essential to making informed decisions. Today, we're breaking down key concepts that every new investor should know when buying and selling shares. So what exactly does it mean to buy and sell shares of a company?
Shares basically are part ownerships, right? When you own shares, you own, you're a part owner to a particular business or company. Buying and selling shares basically involves trading ownership stakes in businesses and companies listed at the stock exchange. We're in Nigeria. So in Nigeria, it's the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
The same way you can just walk in to buy shares from your neighboring store, the same way you just go to buy shares on a company. That easy. The only difference is instead of buying from a neighboring shop, you're buying from an exchange to your stockbroker.
What key factors should be considered before diving into the equity markets?
It is also important that as a beginner, you start with a manageable amount of capital and funds that you cannot afford to lose. Please do not invest your school fees, your children's school fees, or your house rent.
If, for example, I'm someone that wants to buy and sell, so I have to look for shares that are possibly underpriced, or that I think the company will be able to perform better in the coming years, or that I think the nature of their business, I can see the growth trajectory, right? So I can buy and say, okay, maybe in the next 2 years, this company should have increased the share price and I can sell. But if you're a long-term investor that you want to hold that share for like 10 years, 15 years, the type our parents used to do, then you have to look at the business they are doing. Is that business sustainable into the foreseeable future?
How does it work? There is a portal, an independent portal that was created, the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, Nigerian Interbank System, registrars and banks came together to actually develop that portal, and it has progressed over time. So I'm sure most investors would be aware of the formal physical mandate form. You don't have to go through other hassles again.
From the traditional dividend payment model to e-dividend. E-dividend is very simple and straightforward. What it means is once you fill the e-dividend form with your registrar, once the company announces and pays dividend, you receive it alert. You will receive it in your bank as if someone is transferring money to you.
Finally, tackling your stock portfolio's performance is key to making smart investment decisions. What tools are available to help investors stay informed?
Many of the stockbroking outfits from the stockbroking houses now have apps where you can buy and sell without even sending instruction on the platform.
The moment a company declares dividends and sets a payment date for that, the very payment date you would get your dividends. That's basically the advantage as against having to wait. So in the past, we used to use dividend warrants where we would tear warrants, envelope, and then post it to shareholders' addresses. Now, you get your money real time.
Investing in the stock market can be a journey filled with learning opportunities. With the right knowledge and tools, you can navigate the complexities of shares, dividends, and portfolio management successfully. Stay informed. Stay invested.
Ethiopia will host the 46th CAF Ordinary General Assembly in Addis Ababa on October 22nd, 2024, welcoming delegates from across Africa and beyond. The assembly, starting at 10 local time, will take place at the Ethiopian Skylight Hotel, known for its modern facilities. This marks Ethiopia's second time hosting the CAF Congress following 2017. The event will gather officials from CAF Members Association and global football figures, highlighting Ethiopia's role in African football discussions. Zonal union meetings will precede the Congress from October 20 to 21. Additionally, a friendly match featuring CAF and FIFA officials will take place on October 21st, adding a festive atmosphere. Raphael Varane has been appointed as a board member at Como following his retirement from football last month. The Serie A club announced that Varane will focus on youth development, education, and product innovation, aiming to integrate academic and vocational training into youth programs to prepare youth athletes for life beyond football. A World Cup winner in 2018, Varane ended his career at 31 due to a knee injury that sidelined him from the Como squad shortly after signing a 2-year deal. He played 93 times for France before retiring from international football last year. And during his club career, he won multiple titles with Real Madrid and had a brief spell at Manchester United, claiming an FA Cup and EFL Cup. Tottenham secured a dominant Premier League victory over West Ham in a thrilling second half. The match began with Hammers winger Mohamed Kudus scoring the opener in the 18th minute from a Jarrod Bowen cross. Tottenham equalized in the 36th minute when Dejan Kulusevski's shot squeezed in after hitting both posts. The second half saw Spurs elevate their performance, with Yves Bissouma finishing a cutback from Destiny Udogie to take the lead. Son Heung contributed significantly, scoring after his initial shot was deflected. Kudus was later sent off for a violent conduct following a VAR review. This victory marked a strong response for Spurs after their previous defeat at Brinton, which had been described by managers Ange Postecoglou as his worst defeat at the club. And that's all on the news. Let's take a look again at some after major stories. Transmission Company of Nigeria has blamed Jebba transformer explosion for third national grid collapse in 1 week. Again, Senator Kalu has proposed 6-year single term for presidents and governors. We also told you that Mozambique leading opposition candidate's lawyer has been gunned down. You can watch News Central live on DSTV, channel 422, Star Times, channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Adebola Adedugba.